Seventh-day Adventist dating? What the f***? I've gone through some cult dating websites lately, and it's not just because I like catfishing hot Christian dudes. I swear. It's because it gives me a glimpse into the culture that maybe we couldn't get otherwise. So let's take a look at the Seventh-day Adventist dating website and see what types of questions they ask us. What's the ideal woman for a Seventh-day Adventist? Of course, I'm signing up as a woman because I feel like we'll get better hits that way. But this is one thing I found kind of interesting. They allow us to pick our gender, and they let us pick the gender of the person we're looking for. Not all cult dating websites let you do that. Some of them only let you pick which one you are, and they pick your match for you. Kind of a limiting system. But in all honesty, Seventh-day Adventists are actually very opposed to gay marriage. They believe it's a sin. You can't be a full member and also be gay. So I'm really not even sure why they put that option on there. Maybe for the sake of optics. And for the record, I did a video on the Seventh-day Adventists a while back where I compared them against the Bite model to see if it's a cult or not. And my final call on it is that yes, it is a cult. But it isn't as destructive as some other common ones, like Jehovah's Witnesses or Mormonism. For example, they don't shun family members, not even culturally, not really. On the other hand, they do have a church news network. That's pretty concerning. Anyways, you can give that a look if you want. I'll put it in the end card of this video, so when you're done watching this one, you can switch right over. Jehovah's Witnesses and Seventh-day Adventists are actually really closely linked. The founder of the Adventists, Ellen G. White, and the founder of Jehovah's Witnesses, Charles Taze Russell, knew each other. They even went to the same Millerite church a couple times. They share lots of similar views about end times and what's going to happen to you when you die and all kinds of other stuff. Again, I detail some of that in my other video, so give it a watch if you're curious about the Adventists. Anyways, let's get into this dating website. What kind of woman do Seventh-day Adventist men look for? I said I'm female, looking for a male. Next question they asked was, which role should your partner fulfill the most? The options were soulmate, someone to raise a family with, lover, entertainer, or confidant. I'm kind of surprised by the fact that they listed soulmate and someone to raise a family with separately. I guess it doesn't matter how much you love or hate the person with whom you decide to have kids. It's more of a business contract than anything, apparently. Next, they asked, what activity are you most likely to choose for a first date? They just give us some pictures. One is a picture of popcorn? I guess that means watch a movie. Next is a picture of wine? I guess that means go out drinking? I'm not really sure. Then there's a picture of what appears to be a concert, and finally, a picture of skydiving. I picked popcorn. The next question is, you're on a first date. What is your date most likely to notice about you? They give the options, I have good conversational skills, I'm polite and respectful, I'm punctual, I'm spontaneous and fun-loving, and I'm relaxed and calm. Kind of a weird question. Seems like they could have just asked which of those apply the most, but whatever. I picked I'm polite and respectful. Now it's a series of pictures. Which are you most likely to try out? Painting, cooking, going on a safari, or skydiving? Those are weird options. Painting, I guess? Which pattern do you prefer? What is this, a fucking Rorschach test? Why does that matter? I didn't know I'd be receiving a full psychological evaluation when I joined this website. Imagine you're running errands in town and you notice a circle of people cheering on a street performer. What do? Are you kidding me? What does this have to do with anything? Just cut to the hot dudes already. Okay, back to the serious questions. I put Rose for the name, Charleston, West Virginia for the city, since that's the capital of my state and it's a reasonably central location, and I chose to cast a wide net so we can rope in as many men as possible. Okay, here we go. Tell me something about yourself. I put, I love talking about Jesus and living in his image. I hope to find a partner who shares those values. God, I'm so good at catfishing Jesus freaks. Upload a photo. There we go. Now, finally onto the hot dudes. The first profile is from Elias 8. It says, what am I looking for? Would love to make the acquaintance of a Christian SDA woman who believes in present truth. What will I do and accomplish in the next 5 years? Ministry, married, etc. To me, being a Christian means I believe the Bible is inspired word of God. I believe the spirit of prophecy and I believe in present truth. I believe in the soon return of our Lord. I also believe that by beholding him, Jesus, through prayer, daily study, and daily surrendering of the will, we become changed as partakers of his divine nature. My favorite Bible passage and why, Galatians 2:20, I am crucified with Christ, nevertheless I live, yet not I, but Christ liveth in me. And the life which I now live in the flesh, I live by the faith of the Son of God, who loved me and gave himself for me. Christ is our source of overcoming power. He's the answer for all hereditary and cultivated tendencies to evil. Well then, that's something. It's not nothing, I guess. Honestly, it sounds a lot like word salad to me. It does give us a clear glimpse into a culture that I don't really have access to otherwise. Lots of dog whistles in here, like looking for a Christian SDA woman who believes in present truth. That's something that's kind of specific to the Seventh-day Adventist Church. As an ex-Christian, I can kind of understand what he's getting at here, but the fact that he was comfortable enough to put that in a profile tells me it's a kind of dog whistle that only other SDAs will fully understand. Here's the next profile. It says, I'm a dedicated Christian man seeking a loving Christian woman to share my life with. To me, being a Christian means, to me, being an Adventist means. That's weird. Must have left that part in by mistake. Anyways, it says, to me, being an Adventist means having an awesome responsibility to reflect the character of Christ before a sinful world in these last days. That sounds just like Jehovah's Witnesses. My favorite Bible passage and why. Casting all your care upon him, for he catered to you. 1 Peter 5:7. God cares about every aspect of our lives. He even cares about our most minute concerns. Interesting. Okay. Well, since everybody's listing their favorite Bible verses, I guess I'll list mine too. Psalms 14:1. There is no God. Nah, I'm just joking. My real favorite is Deuteronomy 18:22. If what a prophet proclaims in the name of the Lord does not take place or come true, that is a message the Lord has not spoken. That prophet has spoken presumptuously, so do not fear him. The reason that's my favorite is because Jehovah's Witnesses have made so many false predictions in the past. Honestly, I didn't fear them before, but having biblical justification for not fearing them makes it that much sweeter. The next one says, love the Lord and seeking a relationship based on that foundation. The most important thing to me in my life is living for Christ. I don't want anything to get in the way of that. I'm easygoing, love adventure, traveling, and absolutely love what I do. Into horseback riding, rock climbing, basically anything outdoors, and enjoy making people laugh. I have a passion for health and healing. I'm studying herbal medicine. Herbal medicine. Studying? Interesting. Tell me more. Where are you studying herbal medicine? Is it at an accredited college? Oh, accredited colleges don't have herbal medicine majors. Even more interesting. You must be studying it with Gwyneth Paltrow and Jenny McCarthy then. I know the score. You lost my interest, buddy. The final line says, I love life and I'm seeking for a godly woman who will share my desire to serve the Lord and live for him. I know people don't realize how creepy this stuff is, but it's legit creepy to read. I'm sorry. Next profile. Ask what you want. I don't understand what that means. Next. In my continued walk with God, it is important for him to lead me to a person who also sees heaven as home, but for now wants to create a home which will depict what heaven would be like, and Christ is the center and our lives are reflections of his character. In the next 5-year, if it is God's will, I hope to be settled on at least 5 acres of land in warm climate and a costumed build home. Costumed build home? I'm unfamiliar with that custom build. With my God-given queen, where we will establish an altar of prayer and Bible study, while looking to the blessed home, his imminent second coming. Wow, seriously, I thought the last one was creepy. This is completely bizarre. I will also like to go on a few mission trips, write another book, and start a new business. Okay? Well, at least we know the dude doesn't have a problem with humility. I don't even know what to say to all that. Next. I am a kind and caring man who loves the outdoors. I am active in my church and community, and am looking to enhance an already great life by finding my one and only. Again, I respect the grammar. Trying to find somebody you can spend the rest of your life with, and you don't put the time in to correct grammatical errors. It's daring. What will I do and accomplish in the next 5 years? I have a very successful career, I'm well established, and my next few years will be devoted to building a family. To me, being a Christian means living a good Christian life the way God intended. I value principles and a relationship with God above rules and legalism. Well then, that one's pretty disturbing. First of all, of course being a Christian means living a Christian life. That's kind of the definition of being a Christian, isn't it? But that last bit there, I value a relationship with God above laws. That kind of mindset is what leads to atrocities. Next, loving, harmonious, simple, laugh-stand helper. I'll take your word for it. Next, I genuinely enjoy really cool people, especially children, and one of my favorite things to do in life is to help others, in whatever form the need arises. Giving and inspiring people are things I'm really trying to become good at. I'm open to pretty much any fun activity, as long as I don't have to risk life and limb to do it, lol. Most importantly, I'm serious about being saved in God's kingdom. Christ is my all, and I love him. He gets credit for everything that's gone well in my life. I owe everything to him. Why don't you take some credit for the good that's happened in your life? Why do you thank God for the good and blame Satan for the bad? Maybe you have yourself to thank, or the people around you. I get sick of hearing people thank God every time something good happens to them, instead of putting the credit where it belongs, squarely on their shoulders, or on the shoulders of people around them. Next. I consider myself a respectful and sincere person. I like to attend church and read the Bible. I am a man of principle who loves God. At the same time, I am an open and cheerful person. Honestly, doesn't sound like my type at all. Church is the literal worst. There is nothing fun about it. And the Bible is full of outrageous stories that too many people leverage to hurt others. Plus, based on how cheerful they claim to be, I think they'd probably be f***ing annoying. Anyways, that's all I've got for you. If you like what I do and you want to make sure I can continue to do it, you can support me in a few ways. First, you can support me on Patreon. That's probably the best way. But if you want to get something back for your support, you can check out my Teespring. I'm trying to make a shirt design for every cult I've covered. I haven't gotten every one, but I'm working on it. So check it out and see if your cult is up there. Second, you can support me by checking out my game shop. I sell controller, cartridge, and game box stands for every system from the original Nintendo and Sega Game Gear to the Xbox One and Nintendo Switch. So give that a look too. And finally, if you want to support me in some way other than monetarily, you can check out my other YouTube channels. I have a retro game channel where I answer questions like, why does Shy Guy have a mask? And why are CRT TVs the best way to play retro games? I also have the podcast where I talk about stuff I don't feel I can say on a monetized channel. And finally, I have my main channel where I talk about cults. I wish I didn't have to worry about dancing around subjects carefully in the first place, but I chose to do this as a full-time job, so unfortunately I rely on YouTube's AdSense and on the support of patrons to continue doing the work I do. Anyways, check me out in all those places if you haven't already. Thanks for listening, guys.